What's up, guys? Just gonna have a quick chat about Benicio Del Toro's character in Star Wars Episode 8. Now, we've seen a few theories come up online about who we could be playing. One of the main ones being Vikram Fett. Vikram Fett? Do we know any other characters with the surname Fett in the Star Wars universe? I think we do. So, what do we think he's going to be playing? So if he plays Vikram Fett, we could assume safely that it's going to be maybe Boba Fett's son, given the timelines of the series. However, that would mean that he'd be quite old, because he looks, Benicio Del Toro, who looks like he is Harrison Ford's age as he is in Star Wars Episode 7. So, for it to be Boba Fett's son, you know, I don't know. I'm not sure how I feel about it. However, my little theory is, if he is indeed Boba Fett's son, what could happen for the character? Now, we know he's going to be playing like a Man in Black kind of character, but not necessarily a bad guy. Like a bad guy, but not a bad guy. Get what I mean? Ding! But, what I think would happen was, if he is playing Fett's son, I reckon he's carrying on the grudge against Han Solo. I think he blames Han Solo for the death of his, for his father, which, into the Sarlacc pit, which was a great way to kill off one of the most awesome Star Wars characters. Thanks, George Lucas. But seriously, though, I think he would carry on that vendetta. So I think he would try and find Han Solo, only to discover that Han Solo has been killed by Ben. Sorry, Kylo Ren. Kylo Ben? Let's go Kylo Ben. So if he was killed by Kylo Ben, does that mean that, Vikram Fett will probably go, I will join up with Rey Nolop, I'm only joining up with you so I can kill the guy who killed my dad. I said that right. I'm pretty sure I said that right. Ding! So if this is true, I would quite like this, I think. But I want to see like a new variation of the armour. I don't want to see just a standard Boba Fett maybe spray painted in a slightly different colour. I want to see lots of nods to it, maybe a lot of the Mandalorian history that we've got to know through Star Wars, the Clone Wars. I think that could be really good. I'd be excited for that, but only if they did it right. If they just did a classic, it's his son. What about the backstory? Don't worry about it. He's his son. Look, it's cool. It's Boba Fett, kinda. But that's just one theory. There is another theory that he's actually going to be playing an older version of Ezra Bridger from Star Wars Rebels. Now, how would I feel about this? I wouldn't mind, but it would feel a lot like it's a case of, we need to bring them into the continuity more. But weren't they not mentioned in those 3 films that already existed during this entire time? Because it's set before A New Hope, and then suddenly, as we saw the ghost in Star Wars Rogue One, but spoiler alert. But if you haven't seen it, it's your fault. Your fault! But, if it is Ezra, then how do we feel about this? Is it, again, because he wasn't in A New Hope, Empire, and Jedi, so would it make sense to then just, because we've made a series nowadays, to suddenly just shove him into the continuity, like 4 films on? Because effectively that's what it is. I mean, we don't even know who was in the Ghost, actually, to be fair, in Rogue One. They could all be dead. It could just be Jeff from accounting is just like piloting for, shits and gigs. So how do we feel about it? My money would be on Fett's son. I think it makes sense. It's kind of a nice way to tie everything in. I'd prefer that over probably Ezra Bridger, I think, because, again, if he's the Last Jedi is the name of the film, is it the Last Jedi that Luke's training? Luke is actually effectively the last fully trained Jedi, supposedly. So if you have him as Ezra Bridger, then it wouldn't be the Last Jedi, because he's kind of had a lot of training already from Star Wars Rebels, and I'm sure he's going to have more and more Force powers as it goes on. So then it would be the Last Jedi, but then is Jedi like sheep? Because you have, I know this is a really weird thing to say, but bear with me, because you don't have sheep or sheeps. You can have a flock of sheep, you have many sheep. So when it says the Last Jedi doesn't necessarily mean, surely that it's one Jedi. The Last Jedi could mean there's 2. Always 2 there are. Except when Disney are changing the rules, and then there are many. Or whatever. Retcon! But anyway, that's my thoughts. Let me know in the comments what you think. There'll always be, spoilers coming in. We'll always be looking up little bits and tidbits that come in, and everyone's going to have that really reliable information, but we're never actually going to know until we see the film. So all we can do is speculate, and let's be honest, that's a great thing about being a fan and being excited about a film and a franchise. We can sit here, we can communicate. This isn't communicating, I can't hear what you're saying, because, this is now in the past, actually, when you're watching it. Scrap that, but still, hey? But, it's exciting to think about it, to comprehend, to guess. But, let me know what your guess is, what your thoughts, your theories, your fan fictions, Or, you know, what did you have for breakfast? You know what, not that actually, that's really boring. But yeah, anything Star Wars related, drop us a comment, find out. Also, don't forget, subscribe, to get the chance to get 2 tickets to Comic-Con for free. What? All we need to do is get 100 subscribers for the competition to be valid. Once that, we will then draw the names out of a hat live on Facebook, which you can check out our page, All Things Geek on Facebook. We've also got a Twitter and an Instagram, because, you know, we're hip, trendy and cool, and we've got all the social media. Anyway, I've been ATG Ryan, the Star Wars nerd, and we're going to talk about these Galaxy Wars guys at some point, don't you worry.